Don't let one bad leg haunt your parlay. Parlays turn into payouts, and now even near misses won't haunt your bet. The NFL season is here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is rewriting the rules with Ghost Leg, a new game-changing promotion that turns close calls into cold, hard cash. Best of all, it's available to all DraftKings customers. Here's how it works. Build any 3+ leg pregame NFL parlay on Sunday, apply your Ghost Leg token, and if one leg loses, DraftKings makes it vanish like it never existed and pays you out in cash for the rest. Last season, over 30 million parlays were lost by a single leg. This year, Ghost Leg gives those busted bets a second life. No more busted parlays that haunt you all season. With Ghost Leg, the bad leg vanishes. The payout doesn't. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PFF. That's code PFF to unlock Ghost Leg, the promotion that makes one bad leg disappear and pays you out in real cash. Ghost your losses, get your payout in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
The Carolina Panthers traveling to Arizona to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Which team piques your interest the most? You want to talk about the Panthers or the Cardinals here, Dalton?
I'll tell you what. I know they were playing the Saints last week, and the Saints, obviously, with their quarterback situation, we expect to struggle throwing the football. But this Cardinals secondary, I think, keeps getting better and better. 2 years ago, this was the lowest-graded defense in the NFL. Last year, I thought this secondary got better, especially at preventing explosive plays. And now you look at what they did last week against New Orleans. Only gave up 13 points, and a big reason for that was their secondary. The emergence of Will Johnson, who was their highest-graded player last week. Dadrian Taylor-Demerson, Budda Baker, Jalen Thompson, Garrett Williams, Max Melton, if he can play even better than he is right now. You've got a secondary that I think, you always talk about your secondary is as good as your weakest link. The Cardinals don't have many weak links in this secondary. Last week, an 87 coverage grade, best in the NFL, and they only allowed 2 explosive passes all day. The deep ball was not there. And look, the Saints, they may not have a great quarterback situation, but they have weapons. They've got Chris Olave. They've got Rashid Shaheed. They've got Juwan Johnson. Alvin Kamara is one of the best pass-catching backs in the league still, and they shut it down in the passing game. I think this Cardinals secondary and their ability to shut down explosive plays is going to play big again against Bryce Young and this Carolina team that, look, Bryce Young over his last 9-10 games, we've known that he wants to throw the football downfield. Teteroa McMillan, a downfield receiver. Xavier Legette, a downfield receiver, and they're running a little shorthanded beyond those guys. So the Panthers have to hit these big plays. The Jaguars did a nice job against Carolina playing zone coverage and keeping things in front of them. I think the Cardinals have the opportunity to do similar things against this Panther offense. Keep it in front of you. Don't let Bryce Young make those big-time throws. McMillan and Legette are going to have to be better, especially on intermediate and underneath routes for the Panthers in this game for them to win it, because I think the Cardinals could have an advantage in a secondary that I think is ascending up the ranks.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be a big Xavier Legette game. It has to be a better game offensively for the Carolina Panthers, or they're just not going to win this one. Something that I'm looking at is Kyler's time to throw against the Saints, 3.19. It was the 4th highest of any quarterback last week. And so I just felt as though his process could have been a little bit quicker throughout the entire day. But along with that stat, the Panthers still could not get after the quarterback against Jacksonville. They're still having that issue that was lingering from last year. And it's a little disappointing at how ineffective their pass rush was. And yet Nick Scorton plays, I think it was 27% of the defensive snaps. Princely Umanmielen played 12% of the defensive snaps. You brought those guys in to give you a spark. And they just really didn't get the playing time. And I feel like if they were really lighting the world on fire when it came to the preseason and in practice, they'd be giving them a little bit more of a chance to do that. So maybe we see a little bit more of them this week, but it was still disappointing. For as much as I think a lot of people talked about the offensive side of things for Carolina, because I do think that was the more disappointing side of the ball, they still weren't able to get after the passer. And where the Cardinals, I talked about this during the review show, I would like more from them when it comes to like an impact run blocking perspective. They are a decent pass blocking team. Like, they held up pretty well against the New Orleans Saints, and I think they can do the same against Carolina if they don't step it up on the defensive side. So I got a little bit worried about Kyler not having a quicker process. But to be honest with you, if you're not gonna pressure him, who cares if he holds onto the ball for more than 3 seconds? He's somebody who can make plays outside the pocket. He's somebody who is great at fire drills when plays break down and all that. And so if you're not pressuring him and you're not putting that pressure on him, then it does not matter if his process isn't quick enough, because you're just allowing him to scan the field for a lot longer. So yes, I think that first and foremost, Carolina's offense has to be better. It has to be quicker. It has to be more decisive. It has to be more confident. Xavier Legette's got to play better. Like, all of those things are certainly true, but they also have to get after Kyler a little bit better in this game, and we just didn't see that from them last week. So in this one, I still have the Cardinals winning. The Panthers are sort of at this point in time, until the offense looks more confident and until I think the pass rush is going to get better for them, I'm going to have a hard time picking the Panthers. Not that I think that they're going to get blown out every single week. I'm just going to have a hard time picking them, especially when it's teams that I think have the capabilities of putting on a pretty good day. So I got the Arizona Cardinals winning this one 28-17, and we'll see which version of Carolina we get this week.
Yeah, and I think the big thing, one of the big things, you mentioned the pass rush, but other than Bryce Young and his performance and development, their defensive line is going to be the biggest determinant of success this year. And another problem is Jacksonville ran for 200 yards on them last week. So if the Cardinals are able to get into both dimensions of their offense, able to run the ball well, able to get to their play action concepts, get the ball to Trey McBride, then I think they do have a good day. I think it's going to be, for the Panthers, another kind of maybe a slog on offense, with as much as the Cardinals prevent these explosive pass plays. I've got Cardinals 23, Panthers 16. I think the Cardinals can really control the pace of this game and allow Kyler Murray to not have to carry them. I don't think he was great last week against New Orleans, but I don't think he has to be great in order for them to win this game.